Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Senior Safety Advice Podcast. This is the show that helps older adults and their family caregivers live safely, comfortably, and confidently at home. I'm your host, Esther Kane. I'm a retired occupational therapist, a certified aging in place specialist, and a dementia care specialist. And I want you to know that if you need more information on aging in place, on family caregiving, then be sure to visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. We have tons of tips and resources there. And if this podcast is helpful to you, then please subscribe, like, review, give us your comments, and of course, share it with someone that you love. And of course, check us out on YouTube as well. Our podcasts are there as well. All right, now listen. Today, we're talking about something that you don't hear too much about. At least I wasn't able to find a lot of research about. And that is that during the summer months, the medicine cabinet in your home can be trapping heat and affecting the medications that are stored in there. I mean, extreme temperatures, as we've been getting most summers, don't affect just you. They affect the medicines that you take every single day. And that matters more than most people realize. All right, so let's get into it. Now, most of us think about heat and we think about staying cool, especially during the summer. So we know that drinking water, maybe turning on a fan, those kinds of things can help us, wearing cool clothing. But very few people stop to think about what heat is doing to the medications that are sitting on the bathroom counter or in the kitchen cabinet. And this is true especially if you tend to not put your AC on as often or keep it very high so that you don't have to run it as much. And all of that is completely understandable. I get it. It's not something anyone really thinks about. But as someone who spent years working with older adults in their homes in South Florida, where it gets extremely hot, I can tell you that medication safety in the heat is just one of those quiet, easy to miss dangers that can sneak up on you. So here's what you need to know. Most medications are designed to be stored at what's called room temperature. And room temperature generally means somewhere between 59 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you keep your home during the summer hotter than 77 degrees, you are not keeping that medication at room temperature. The moment your home or your car or your purse gets hotter than 77 degrees Fahrenheit, medications can easily break down. And I'm not talking about every single medication, of course, but if your medication begins to break down, then it's not doing the work that you are paying for it to do and relying on it to do. When a medication breaks down, it doesn't always look different. It might not even smell different if it has a smell at all. You might not be able to tell anything has changed at all, but it could be less effective, or in some cases, it could actually become harmful. Now, that's the part that really matters. It's invisible. You don't see it, you don't smell it, you don't notice it until, of course, you take it. Invisible problems are the ones that we need to talk about the most. Now, not every medication reacts the same way to heat, naturally. Some are more sensitive than others, and I want to walk you through the ones that tend to be the most effective, because this is really important information. Okay, let's start with insulin. If you or someone you care for uses insulin, then please pay close attention. Insulin is extremely sensitive to heat. When it gets too warm, it can degrade quickly, and that means that it won't work the way that it should. Uncontrolled blood sugar can happen quickly, and that's a very serious situation. Insulin should never be left in a hot car. Honestly, it should never be left in a car at all. Never be placed near a sunny window, and it should never be stored in a spot that gets warm. Okay, Then there are nitroglycerin tablets, the ones that people carry for heart conditions. These are very tiny tablets that need to stay cool and dry. Heat can make them lose their potency, and if you need one and it's no longer effective, well, really, that's an emergency waiting to happen. Another type of medication are thyroid medications, certain eye drops, antibiotics, well, some antibiotics, and even some common over-the-counter products like aspirin and ibuprofen can all be affected by high temperatures. So if you're the kind of person that keeps some ibuprofen in your car, in case you need it, please don't. Don't do that. Even your vitamins and supplements can lose potency if stored somewhere too warm. So, hey, if you're on multiple medications, which is very common as you get older, the chances that at least one of them is heat sensitive is pretty good. It's good chances. So this isn't a niche concern. This is something that applies to most older adults. So let me take a moment here to address just a few things that I hear people say that, well, that aren't quite right. One of the biggest myths is that the bathroom medicine cabinet is a great place to store medications. And that sounds logical, right? It's called a medicine cabinet after all. But bathrooms are actually one of the worst places for medications because of the heat and humidity from bathing and showering. The steam alone can affect certain pills over time. And then on top of that, adding summer heat to it, and you've got a real problem. Another thing I hear is, well, my house feels fine to me, so it must be okay. But your comfort level isn't the same as what's happening on that sunny windowsill or in that cabinet above the stove or even anywhere else in your home. My mom-in-law would have her house in the 90s. That was the regulated temperature in the 90s in South Florida. And so her medication was always in peril of degrading simply because that temperature level was comfortable for her. And wasn't for me, but it was for her. So spots in your home can significantly be hotter than the air temperature in the room, especially if sunlight is hitting them directly. So even if you feel that you are having your house at 75 degrees, let's say, or whatever, 73, then please look around and make sure that your medicine is not being hit by sunlight through the window. Another thing I hear is, another thing is actually, the car. Oh, the car. I know people who keep vitamins and things like ibuprofen and Advil and things in the car. I get it. It's because it's an easy place to store and they're in and out of their car all day. People leave medications in their car all the time because you're heading to an appointment or, it's convenient. Look, I get it. It's convenient. But on a summer day, or if you live in a tropical area where it's hot most of the time, doesn't have to be summer, the inside of a parked car can reach over 130 degrees. Now, that's not an exaggeration. That's a facts on record number. So never leave your baby in the car, never leave your child in the car, never, ever leave your pet in a car, and never leave medication stored in a car. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. What can you actually do about this? Because I always want to give you some practical steps that you can take. Okay, first, find a cool, dry, dark spot in your home and make that your medication storage location. It could be a bedroom door that's away from windows. That could be a good choice. It could be a linen closet shelf. That works well too. The key is to keep it away from heat, away from moisture, and away from direct sunlight. Second, if you're going out on a warm day and you need to bring your medication with you, then consider using a small insulated bag or a cooler pouch. You can find these at most pharmacies for just a few dollars, and they really make a big difference, especially for insulin and other temperature-sensitive medications. Third, and this is one that I feel strongly about, take a look at the label on your medication bottles. Many of them will say something like store at room temperature or protect from heat. Now that's your clue. That specific medication needs extra care in the summer. And remember, your room temperature means anywhere between 59 and 77 degrees. You'd be pushing it also at 77 degrees, so you want to try and keep it under that. Fourth, if you have any doubts at all about whether a specific medication that you're taking has been affected by heat, then call your pharmacist. Don't assume that it's fine. Pharmacists are wonderful resources, and they are there to help you. Describe what happened. Maybe you left it in the car, or the power went out and your house got very warm, and they can tell you whether it's still safe to use. And fifth, if you're traveling this summer or going on a trip, visiting family, flying somewhere, think in advance about how you'll keep your medications safe during transit. For flights, always keep your medications in your carry-on bag, never in a checked-in luggage where temperatures in the cargo hold can vary widely. And honestly, you can also lose that check-in luggage. I remember going on a cruise where a couple never received their luggage before we left on the cruise. The entire week-long cruise, they wore clothes from the cruise store. So all their medications and everything were gone. All right, now I want to speak directly to the family caregivers who are listening to this podcast. The sons and daughters, the spouses, cousins, nephews, nieces, everybody. The neighbors also, sometimes they're the caregivers who are showing up every day for someone that they love and care about. You are doing something incredibly important. I think I say that every single time because it is so very true, and I want you to hear it. So, one of the most helpful things that you can do this summer is to take a few minutes to do a medication storage check. Walk through the home of the person that you're caring for. Look at where the medications are being kept. Is it near a window? Is it near the stove? Is it in that bathroom cabinet where the humidity and heat can, pile up? If so, let's make a simple change together. If the person you're caring for has dementia or any kind of cognitive change, they may not be able to recognize that a medication looks or even feels different. And also, more importantly, they may not be able to report that they're feeling worse since taking it or that something feels off. So your eyes and your attention are especially critical here. Also, if you manage medications for someone else, consider keeping a simple list of all their medications and their storage requirements. Your pharmacist can help you put that together. It becomes a really, really useful reference, not just in the summer, but year-round, especially if you live in a warmer climate. Okay, here's what I want you to take away from today. You don't have to overhaul your whole routine. You just have to become aware. A few small changes, moving your medications to a cooler spot, grabbing an insulated pouch for outings, checking the label, calling your pharmacist when something seems off or you think it may seem off. Those little things can make a meaningful difference. You work hard to take your medications the right way, at the right time, every day. So let's make sure that those medications are still able to do their job for you because you deserve that. Your health deserves that. All right, heat happens every summer, but now that you know what to watch for, you can stay one step ahead of it. All right, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It really does mean a lot to me and of course to Robin, who does these podcasts as well. And again, for more tips, resources, and tools to help you or someone that you love stay safe at home and healthy as much as possible, please visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And if you're looking for professionals to help you age in place, look at aginginplacedirectory.com. It's a great place to find specialists who can help. If this podcast has helped you in any way, one of the biggest ways that you can support it is by subscribing, leaving a review, liking the episode, and then, of course, sharing it with others. Those simple actions take a minute, if a second, maybe some of them. They may seem small, but they really do end up making a huge difference because they allow the podcast channels and the YouTube channel to see that they are being engaged, and then they promote them to others. So in essence, all of that helps the podcast reach more people, especially family caregivers, older adults, and the professionals who work with seniors who may need this information and support right now. All right, I want to thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.